Okay, come pressure can some ham and bean soup with me. We have our meat pigs going to the butcher at the end of the month, so I am trying to clear space in my freezer, which means I had a ton of leftover ham hocks from our last pig. So I threw it in a cooker and cooked it for 24 hours, and now we're gonna pressure can it. This is the Presto digital pressure canner. It's my favorite pressure canner because I'm new and just learning how to do things, and the other one frankly scares me. So this one's nice because it walks you through all those steps. So I have just filled it up with water to the line in there. There's nothing in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to select pressure can, which is lit up already, and I'm gonna press play. And then I'm gonna select my time, which I am doing quart jars, so I'm gonna do 90 minutes. And then I press play. And then it tells me right down here to insert my jars. So I'm gonna fill my jars halfway up with just lukewarm water, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I filled my jars halfway up with just regular tap water. I'm going to put those in the jar, or in the canner. So this one holds 5 quart jars. FYI, this is an ad. It's just literally my favorite pressure canner that I have. Super simple. So I'm gonna take the lid and I'm gonna put it on, and it has an install, remove, and a locking method. Okay, and then this little tab comes down here and turns so that this can't come up. Okay, so then I am going to press play. It's doing a warming function where it's going to warm the jars and sterilize the jars. So once it beeps, we'll come back and fill our jars with our soup. Okay, so now it's telling me down here to fill my jars. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to take that off, turn the lid to the unlocked position, and then these are very hot. Like I said, they're sterilized. So I'm going to take my jars out with my lifters, and I'm just going to dump the water down the sink. And then that gives me clean, sterilized jars. Okay, so now I'm going to fill my jars. If you don't have this canner, you can sterilize your jars in the dishwasher. That's fine too. I just like the ease that everything in this canner is ready to go. So my ham and bean soup is still hot, so I'm going to put that in my jars. I'm going to do about an inch headspace. Just going to fill this up. I do have a towel down because it's a little messy and my house is a little cold. So I didn't want to put hot jars on my cold countertops. And then I used some canned chicken and canned vegetable broth that I made for the base of the soup too. So I just did 2 chicken broth and 2 vegetable broth, and then a bunch of ham hocks and 2 pounds of navy beans for my soup. So that's about as far as I'm going to fill these jars. I'm going to fill the others and I'll be right back. Okay, so sorry my kids are going to be loud in the background, but I have all my cans or my jars filled. So I'm going to take just some regular white distilled vinegar, and I've got it on a paper towel, and I'm going to just wipe the rims really, really good. This just gets off all of the fatty acids, any of the debris that's on the rims, so that way the wax on the bottom of the lids can seal. So the canning lids have this waxy outer ring, and if there's anything on the rim, it'll prevent that from sealing correctly. So you want to make sure that your rims are really, really clean. You put your lid down, and then you just do like fingertip tight. You don't want to hold the jar. You just want to do it to where your fingers can't turn it anymore. I am reusing jars, so I have a mix of wide and regular mouth, but I just buy, again, I just go to Walmart and buy these. I have heard good things about other lids that I'm gonna try out once I'm done with my back stock of the ball jar lids. It's just a preference. I've tried a couple others and I don't like them as much. So I just make sure that the lid's on there straight. And then again, just fingertip tight. And that's pretty much this step. Okay, so now that's done, we're gonna come over here and we are going to place, oops, I forgot to take the lid off. I do not have a lot of counter space in this house. It's a very old house. So I don't have a ton of space. I'm excited for when we buy our own place instead of renting, but I'm just going to place my my jars back into the canner. These are all in. Okay, so those are there. And then I'm gonna put the lid back on. Now I haven't put the regulator on yet because it hasn't told me to. So fill jars, we're gonna hit play, and it says it's gonna heat. Once it gets up to temperature, then it'll beep at us again and we'll be ready for the next step. Okay, so it's gotten to temperature, so now it's gonna vent for 10 minutes and then it's gonna beep at us to put the regulator on the top. There's a little bit of stuff that comes out of here. You can see this, I don't think you can see the steam, but there's some steam coming out. And then it'll beep at us. Okay, so now it's beeping at us. It's telling us to put the regulator on. So we're gonna grab the regulator, put it on top, just be careful. And then we're gonna hit play. It's gonna start doing 90 minutes for that, and then this will pop up in just a moment in order to lock this, so that way we cannot take the lid off. And it's hot. So here in just a moment, you can see it's starting to bubble up a little bit and the steam's coming out of it. Okay, and that has popped up. So it is now pressure canning our ham and bean soup. So in 90 minutes, we will have shelf-stable soup for a busy night.